Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? Okay, are you able to hear me? Okay, are you able to hear me? So in the last class, I was speaking with you on the criteria of how we can start creating the functions. Now, whenever you're dealing with your functions, we have seen that every function, whatever you are implementing as far as your PLS skill is concerned, that particular function is definitely expected to the last class I was speaking with you calling on the criteria of how we can start creating the functions. Now, whenever you're dealing with the functions, we have seen to just understand one thing. Every function, whatever you are implementing as far as your PLS skill is concerned, that particular function is definitely expected to the last class I was speaking with you calling on the criteria of how we can start creating the functions. Now, whenever you're dealing with the functions, we have seen to just understand one thing. Every function, whatever you are implementing, can always. Now, is the voice is clear now? Okay. So whenever you're designing your functions can definitely take the out mode parameters, but technically you should always remember if when you design a function as an out mode parameter, so whenever you're designing any particular function, you should always remember one thing. If you declare an out mode parameter for your function, then definitely that particular piece of the function gets into the behavior of procedures. So we should always take care to see that we are maximum avoiding the functions with out mode parameters. Am I clear with you? Now, technologically, whenever you're trying to operate on the process, the return value, whatever we are specifying for the sake of the function, should always be a value in association to the data type, what exactly your PLS skill or your skill can recognize. Now, I already said one point, if at all your data type is not primitive by nature, and you want to really create a function, in such kind of cases, you should always be very specifically clear that we should first create a package where we can always make that particular piece of the data type absolutely global by nature. And then we have to sit and start creating the criteria of the functions or select the procedures which can have the ability to handle the user defined data type or custom data type is what we create in PLSQL like implementations. Am I clear with you? Anyhow, once I get into the packages, we'll just get all that kind of idea. Let us not worry about that immediately. But I think in my last class when we were working, we came with certain conclusions that designing any particular PLSQL function is not really difficult. But the only thing is, we need to be very sure what is the data type the function is going to return, and the criteria of the return value, whatever you are trying to supply or whatever you are trying to give at the time of calling, should be taken into one of the variable that is fundamentally identified in a very, very proper way. So you just watch carefully. By rule of the requirement, we can always create, functions that can really help us for day-to-day operational criteria as far as the business operations are concerned. Okay, in relevance to the business operations, we can always create functions that can really give us a good amount of advantage to see that technically we can make certain activities of SQL become much simple and much easier. And I already said in my previous class, every function what we design, as far as your particular PLSQL is concerned, these all particular functions are definitely acting like what? Single row functions in consideration to your particular SQL like environment. Therefore, if you keep your out mode parameters, you lose that ability. Try to understand that. So just watch carefully. I'm saying create or replace function. Now I want to calculate the experience of the employee, let us say. Now for that, what I'm doing is I'm just creating the name of the function as employee experience. And I'm very clearly saying that I will give the employee number as a number type. And we already said previously that technically whenever we are working with the parameters, we should declare the data type, but we should not declare the size. Now, if I say that this is my function called as emp experience, which is going to return the experience of my employees, then definitely I should always go with my criteria and composition of the return type. So experience is always what? A numerical data. So I'm saying return number. And then do I have any local declarations or local variables that should be operating only for this particular piece of the function? So there I'm basically trying to say is, and then I'm going with my local variable declarations. One is v underscore hire date, and then I'm saying emp dot hire date percentage type. Okay. Now with this declaration, I'm very clearly saying that this variable within your particular function will go and contact the employee table associates with the hire date column that is existing in the backend of my SQL, and whatever data type is it, that particular data type will be inherited. Am I clear? So these things are already well known to you when we are working already with the anonymous and named blocks itself. Then my function has to return the experience, and we said like this particular return value is a number. For that return value, what it is going to return? Do you have any variable that can handle the show within your functional construct? So I'm declaring one variable called as v underscore experience, and I'm just trying to say number. Okay. Now I'm just trying to say 4 comma 2 is assigned as 1. Then I'm just picking up my operational logic. Now here, if I need to calculate my experience of the employee, then definitely I need to have the hire date of the employee that should come from my database. Do you agree with me? So I'm just going with my select. I'm just trying to say hire date into v underscore hire date. And then I'm just trying to say from EMP. And then I'm just going with my where employee number is equal to v underscore employee number. So this select statement is going to contact my database server. For every employee number that you're passing, that specific employee number will be searched and that employee's hire date will be transferred into this particular variable. Now, every employee should have a hire date or may have a hire date. Should have a hire date. So definitely that particular hire date, once it is captured into my local variable of my PLS skill, I'm just going with my calculation now. I'm saying v underscore exp is assigned as, I'm calling my months between function from my SQL, and I'm just trying to say sysdate comma, now this v underscore hire date, whatever we are having, that divided by 12. Okay, now this experience, we are expecting it to be returned to the calling environment. So we are keeping return v underscore exp. And then we are going with end employee experience. So that's definitely no doubt my function, what I created in my PLS skill. But here I just want you to catch few things now. Okay. Now let us keep this function as it is for some time. Now just watch carefully the changes what I'm trying to do upon this particular piece of the function now. Okay. Upon this particular piece of the function, I'm just making certain changes. I want to catch up now. Just watch the way I'm making my fundamental changes. So that becomes the header of my particular block. If you're speaking on the named block, then I'm just trying to say that's declared. Now your variables do not have any kind of modes. Now number data type, generally we don't need to declare the size. This is my in mode. So I'm just trying to convert this into a substitution variable. Now this particular part of my declaration is not essential for me. Now coming into my begin, this is my return, which is going to the location where we are calling the data or calling this particular function. Now here what I'm doing, you just watch, I'm saying dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and then I'm just trying to say the employee v underscore employee number experience is, and then we are just trying to close this. So whatever return statement I'm having, I'm converting the return statement into my dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Now, is it not a very simple named block in our PLS skill? Now you just watch very carefully. I'm just executing this. Now I'm just putting my criteria the forward slash, and we are looking into this now. So you can just watch, I'm saying 7654, which is my employee number. Now, technically, it's calculating the corresponding experience of your particular employee. Now, I just want to make one point very clear to you. If you can really write a program of named block like this, now I don't think you should have any problem at any point of time to really convert this into a concept of the function. Just watch. So I don't think you should have any particular trouble to convert that into a criteria and composition of a function. That's why in the beginning of my sessions of PLS skill itself, I said, any pending work in putting your effort in practicing with your anonymous and named blocks will cost you when you come to the subprogrammed blocks in PLS skill. I think definitely we are experiencing it. Am I correct? Now, just to keep you into select convenience once again, this is a function at this level. Now you just watch here, I'm saying create or replace procedure. Then I'm saying employee experience and you're giving the input of the number. And then procedures do not have any written statement, so I'm removing it. All the remaining thing is as it is. In the construct of this written, whatever you're having with you, I'm just calling down the criteria of the same dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. And I'm just trying to say the employee v underscore employee number is having an experience of if you want in more details, you can just say yes. Now that becomes a procedure for us. Now you're taking this particular procedure and you're fundamentally trying to go for execution. But you know very well that procedures are never executed directly. They're compiled and created and they become part of the database objects. Am I clear with you? So it's only your rule of your fundamental experience, and a procedure can be always executed as a standalone implementation. So I'm saying execute employee experience with say like I'm saying 7566. So it's technically returning the corresponding number of years of experience of that employee. Now here you are directly trying to put the data or the result onto the screen which is getting printed. Do you agree with me? Now I just wanted to check one thing. The same procedure you watch carefully, man. I'm not interested in sending this as an output onto my screen, but I want to send this to my particular end user. So you just watch what I'm doing. I'm saying comma, the same procedure you watch carefully, how I'm trying to make a change. I'm saying O underscore EMP EXP, that's underscore. And I'm saying out mode with number. So this is very clearly showing that it is going to carry this particular data to the end user. Now, we have calculated the experience into this variable now. This data should go to the calling environment. So, we are just trying to catch up with the construct. And we are moving down through the process. Just watch here. I'm saying O underscore EMP EXP is assigned as that local variable where we are having that experience. See, it's only the state of understanding. It's just the state of understanding. Now you just watch carefully. I'm just moving down with my procedure and I'm replacing this procedure now. Now, since we are having out mode parameter, we cannot directly call this particular procedure in a standalone mode until we do not have some variable that can carry that out mode. So I'm declaring a bind variable and I'm just trying to say be employee experience and I'm saying number. Now I'm going with my execute. I'm calling my employee experience and I'm just trying to say take the employee number as the in mode and return the experience on the out mode. Now it definitely got executed and we are trying to say select B emp exp from dual. Okay. Now here we should keep a colon because the bind variable. So that's really showing that. Now you can even directly call this using another module where we are saying v underscore employee number and I'm saying emp dot employee number percentage type is assigned as ampersand of G employee number. Then I'm saying v underscore employee experience and I'm just putting that with the number of 4,2 and then I'm just going with my begin. You know very well that whenever we call a procedure, we directly call the procedure by just replacing that area with v underscore. Procedures are never assigned to any specific variables. And then we are just trying to say end. And then we are executing this block. It's not this block is calling another PLS skill block, which is a subprogram. Now I returned this variable into this block, but I don't think I've written any output statement for this. Therefore, you're not seeing it. Now, let me say like, I'm just trying to add here dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. And then I'm going with the employee v underscore employee number is experienced with, we want to pick up this experience to be printed, which is in the out mode status. Okay, that's a single quote. Now, once I'm keeping that, then definitely you can just watch. I'm saying 7566. It's printing the number of years of experience. And once again, I'm repeating, when we call procedures in the PLS skill blocks, we just call the procedure without any assignment to any variable. Okay. The reason is procedures do not return any values. Now, I just want to check one more point here. I'm running the same procedure and I'm saying 2234. Now, definitely this employee number is taken here, goes to the location where its logic is available. Now, this select statement is definitely failing. Catch my words carefully. This select statement is definitely failing because that corresponding employee number is not found in the database. Am I correct? Now, when your data is not available in your database, your select statement in PLSQL will definitely returns no data found. Now, am I managing any exception section in my procedure? No. So when I don't manage any exception section to that particular PLSQL block, then definitely it should be propagated to the calling environment. Do you agree with me? So you can just watch here. What is exactly propagation? We'll have much clarity at this level on the construct. Now the employee 2234 is experienced with 39.49 years is what it's fundamentally returning to us. Now you need to just understand this particular employee, whatever I'm trying to specify here, could be existing to my particular database table. So when you call the composition of the process, you need to just understand the rule of the requirement, what exactly it is representing. Am I clear with you? So it's criterially, whenever you're working in, this is where the student generally gets confused. But just watch carefully. I'm taking my data here, but I'm substituting this through a variable. I'm keeping a constant there. I've kept a constant. Therefore, there's no meaning you write any particular program that fundamentally takes your variable value and that doesn't get represented and substituted. Are you getting my point? So making the soft code is definitely into your construct. So you just watch 2234, no data found. Now the propagations are very clear. Actually, this exception is taking place where? In my procedure. But within my particular procedure, I'm not handling it. Because I'm not handling this within my particular procedure, technically it is getting propagated now. Now, who should handle this? Now, anybody can handle it according to their convenience. Now, you can just watch here. I'm writing my exception section. I'm saying when others, then. And I'm just trying to call down with my the server return. Now, actually the exception is happening in, tell me, exception is happening in the procedure. Because we are not handling in the procedure, this is getting redirected to the construct and composition of the calling environment. Okay, I should not have that. Are you understand the concept of propagation? Are you understand the concept of propagation? So I think we can write anything in the concept of procedure or a function, but the thing is, we should always decide that this should be a function only when we know that we are doing some mathematical calculations, any expressional evaluations, validations, verifications, authentications, and authorizations. Because in all these areas, the return value will be one only. So you cannot say like, sir, my friend has been writing the same code in procedure. Let him write. But you make a very wise decision which particular code should be a procedure, which particular code should be a function. Okay. So generally, as per the industrial standards, any business operations like DMLs, means inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data, and selecting the data, are generally done as procedures. So it is always better that you conduct all your DML operations as procedures. Okay. Now, anything that is in the form of mathematical process. Any mathematical calculations, expressional evaluations, your authentications, your authorizations, your verifications and validations, it's better you always write them in the form of functions because they always return a single value. Am I clear with you? So now you can just watch very carefully. I'm dropping this procedure now. Because a procedure and a function cannot have the same name. Got it? Now, this particular code, whatever we are having in the construct of a procedure, you watch carefully. So now I don't think it is difficult to handle anything in the form of a function if you have been already writing them in the form of named blocks and your corresponding procedures. See, time and again I'm telling you, it's only a passion that will make you work. Okay? Now either it is a procedure, sorry, that was a procedure as a keyword. Okay, now here we should keep function. So that's your function that's fundamentally created. Okay. Now, when you take a function, you already know that function cannot be called as a standalone implementation. If I call my function like this, it's absolutely an error. So function should be called definitely in a context. Am I clear? So you just watch, I'm saying select employee number, comma, ename, hire date, comma, I'm just calling the employee experience function from here. And then I'm just giving the 7566 and I'm saying employee experience from EMP, where employee number is equal to 7566. I'm just querying for only one employee, calling upon my particular function. Is not my SQL is using my function as a single row function directly. Now, in the place of this, you just try to remove this 7566, which is hard coded, and keep your employee number column here, and just try to remove this, and then let us go. So, when you are working with the construct, there's a very clear proof that every function what we design in PLSQL can work in SQL, enhancing the ability of the SQL like a single row function. Therefore, if you design this particular function where out mode parameter, if you keep out mode parameter, this function loses this ability. Are you catching the point? They would try to understand one thing. You have designed a function should have a return statement, but you kept an out mode parameter. It dominates like a procedure. Am I clear? Am I clear with you? So just be very clear on these particular constructs. Now we can even call this particular piece of the function technically by a calling routine. Okay, we can call this using a calling routine definitely. So picking up the calling routine just is your responsibility. So what do you mean? Now you just go back and recollect, man. I'm saying declare. Okay, I'm saying v underscore employee number emp dot employee number percentage type is assigned as ampersand of G employee number. Then we are just trying to say v underscore ename emp dot ename percentage type. Okay, then I'm just trying to say v underscore emp exp, and we are saying number of 4,2. Then I'm just going with my begin. Then I'm first saying select ename into v underscore ename from emp where employee number is equal to v underscore employee number. Okay, then you just watch very carefully. I'm calling this v underscore emp exp is assigned as, I'm just going and calling this emp exp function what we have created by supplying that v underscore employee number. So since the function always returns a value, please assign that particular function to some variable. Okay, now here I'm just trying to say dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. I'm just trying to say employee v underscore ename is experienced with v underscore emp exp then we are saying end. Are we not calling our function within another PLS skill module? But whenever we are calling the function in another PLS skill module, we should see that it is assigned to a corresponding variable of the same data type. So with all that particular factor, I'm just executing it. You can even call in any other particular mechanisms where you're expecting, like what? If you can just go back by the previous classes, I think we have written one procedure in the previous class, which was fundamentally trying to give us a report of the employees of the department. And if you can just go back and recollect. Now the same procedure, I'm replacing it now. And I'm just trying to say execute emp info, and I'm saying 10. It's not my particular procedure is calling the employees experience. So one procedure can always call a function by necessity. See, it's just your own fundamental concentration. It's just your fundamental concentration. Am I clear with you? So you need to just have an idea. You just need to have an idea how you try to identify the compositions and start moving down through the process. Am I clear with you? So it's just it's your way of working out with your own essence where you are expecting which component to get integrated. Now, if you can design any particular function that can really go and calculate your criteria and composition of, okay, if you can just go and calculate any of your particular function that can seriously calculate your experience. Now, I don't think it should be a problem for you to design another function that can do some other kind of work. See, once you got the template, it's very simple. It's very simple. What I mean, you just watch, I'm saying create or replace function employee total salary. Okay, my intention is I want to create a function that can calculate the total salary of the employee whenever I give the employee number. Now, total salary is once again a numerical data, so I'm saying return number. Then for capturing the total salary, we need one column that is nothing but the salary column. V underscore sal emp.sal percentage type, and total salary is definitely nothing but it's associated with the commission. So I'm just declaring one more variable. I'm saying commission emp dot, and I'm saying commission. Now we need to capture the total salary, so I'm saying v underscore total sal variable, and salary is something that definitely has some criteria of the number of values. Most of precision and scale should be fundamentally adjusted. Now here I'm just declaring my sal comma commission. Now I need to transfer these two values into the corresponding variables. So v underscore sal comma v underscore commission from emp where employee number equal to so and so. Now our job is to calculate the total salary. So I'm replacing this here. Now this v underscore sal comma v underscore commission, I'm just trying to pick up the formula by saying plus NVL of v underscore commission comma 0. Then I need to return this particular piece of the value. So I'm just keeping it here. And this is total salary. So I'm just making a change of name here. If one function has been created by you, I think creating the next function is just following that particular template, understanding a business requirement. Am I clear? So it's just the way you think, you build your attitude. You want to really write some particular code that technically can do some kind of good stuff. Now, we already know that whenever we are working with any particular subprogrammed applications, they get created even if the compilation errors are existing. Don't forget that. So just to make you recollect, if I want to see my errors, I'll say what? Show errors. And then it is better we say function name. Even though people say that, you just say show errors. I told you it's a very bad practice, because if you say only show errors, it will show you the current recent compiled code. But in real time, it may not be the current recent compiled code by you. So if you are using that function name, procedure name, you can see the errors of any particular object that has been created previously by you. So it's very clearly saying you watch component COMML must be declared. Because of that, the total remaining part of the code got affected. So if you can just go and check here, when I'm declaring my commission, I said COMML. Now we are just trying to declare that very properly. There's a very clear proof that it's going and looking into that particular data type exclusively from the metadata of Oracle, and then inheriting that into your particular PLSQL. Now, once this is done, I can always say select. I'm saying employee number, comma, e-name, comma, hire date, comma, I'm just calling the employee experience 7566, and then I'm saying EMP EXP, then I'm having my salary, comma, commission. Now I'm calling my EMP total salary. Then I'm just going with my 7566 once again, and I'm saying total sal. Then I'm going with my from EMP, where employee number is equal to 7566. Now I can just use the same thing by directly making it soft coded by putting up the thing by saying employee number with employee number, and I'm saying from EMP. So it's not your criteria is fundamentally trying to adapt the assistance of your PLS skill functions, what you have created. See, it's just your criteria of your own concentration. Be very, very clear about that. It's your fundamental zeal that you need to work with your coding by understanding a rule of a scenario. That's where your journey started long back with your anonymous and named blocks very perfectly. Trust me, nobody in the world can stop you from writing your PLS skill code to the subprogrammed implementations. So try to understand these particular cases. Now, in all these cases, my data type, what I'm returning is what? The primitive. It's number or varchar, that doesn't matter. It's primitive. Because it's primitive, I can directly start writing my function without having any fundamental additional preparation for it. In the same way, I just want to check one thing. Okay, you just watch carefully. I'm saying create or replace, and I'm just going with my function. I'm saying get department details, and I'm saying that I'll give the parameter p underscore department number. Now you watch carefully. When I give one department number, my table will return me a record of information. Do you agree with me? So when it's returning a record of information, what I want to say is DPT percentage row type. So a function can return a record of data. But the only thing you should remember, that is a single record of data it is returning. Therefore, in my previous class, I said function should return a single data type as a value. Now, this is one single data type what you're returning. Internally, it is having 3 columns. It doesn't matter. Now, after I said it is going to return the percentage row type of the DEPT, I'm saying is V underscore DEPT record. I'm saying DEPT percentage row type. And then I start saying V underscore department number DEPT dot department number percentage type, because we need to give the department number as an input. So I'm taking is assigned as p underscore department number, where you can just watch here, this parameter is being pushed here. Am I clear with you? So that specification parameter will now starts operating to get me the data whatever I'm expecting. So I'm just going with my begin, that I'm saying select star into V underscore DEPT record. So we are transferring that single record of information into this, and then we are saying from DEPT where department number is equal to V underscore department number, return V underscore DEPT record. And then I'm just trying to say end this particular function. Okay, now I'm just creating my corresponding function. But just watch very carefully. I'm calling this with my ename, sorry, with my criteria of get DEPT details directly. By supplying the department number as 10, and I'm saying department info from dual. Now, whenever I'm executing this is a row type, yes or no? Now, you just watch very carefully. Your select statement directly cannot handle percentage row types. So, when your functions are returning anything other than scalars means collections, okay? Row types, record data types, you cannot use those functions directly within your SQL. Am I clear with you? So then how to make use of it? You have to create a calling environment. Calling means you just watch. I'm saying declare v underscore department record DEPT dot DEPT percentage row type. Okay. And then I'm saying begin v underscore department record dot department number is assigned as select. I'm saying ampersand of G department number. Then I'm saying v underscore department record. This is a percentage row type, yes or no? Now my function is also returning the same type. So now you watch carefully. I'm calling this function here. And I'm supplying the criteria of v underscore department record of that department number. And then I'm saying dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Then I'm just trying to say, once it is returning this record type, in this I'm having all the three columns. So I'm just trying to say dot department number v underscore department record dot dname. Then we are saying dot location. I think all this kind of activities we have already done previously, man. Then I'm just trying to say end. And we are working with this. So I said 10 is returning me that record type now. Now let me say like I'm taking this particular function and let us enhance that employee info procedure what we created previously. Now under that particular procedure, whatever we created, I'm declaring my department percentage row type, and you can just watch here. I'm calling that function here now. And I'm also calling my employee experience function here. See, once you started writing your fundamental code, now technically I can tell you it's just not going to be that difficult if you can seriously follow through the process. I'm saying emp info procedure, the corresponding department number. So this is my percentage row type that is returning, and here my employees experiences are getting calculated. So putting your code into the line of practice is purely in your hands. Now every procedure is having how many parts? Every procedure is having how many parts? Can you just tell me? Hello? 2 parts. What are they? Your header and your body. Okay, your header and your body. Now in procedure, the header and body are together or they are separated. Together, okay? Every function is having how many parts? 2 parts. Once again, here also the function header and function body. Am I correct? Now here also the body and the header are together. Do you agree with me? Packages are nothing but if you can separate your header and a body, and if you can compile them independently, it just becomes a package. Where a package is just nothing but a logical collection of different kinds of operational segments of the code into one single place. Therefore, within the next 24 hours, if you're not having clarity on what is the header part of the procedures and functions, body part of the procedures and functions, then packages can look difficult, man. But actually packages are the most simplest things. Because we just separate the header part and the body part and we compile them independently and we call them wherever the need arises, where a package can be a collection of multiple number of procedures and functions together in one single place. So with all this kind of exposure what we have till now, let us see how exactly we are going to discuss the criteria of packages, and major part of the conclusions will achieve definitely by tomorrow's session itself, getting ready for the sake of triggers. Thank you very much. Once again with you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself.